Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, police name wanted men in St. James. The St. James police have declared their intent to apprehend a number of men wanted for various crimes in the parish. Among the wanted individuals is a man who the police said has been causing problems in the troubled Salt Spring community in the parish. One is Joseph Mackenzie, otherwise called Gio. He is responsible for several murders within the Flanker, Salt Spring, and the Flower Hill communities, Superintendent Aaron Samuels told the media personnel on Wednesday. He said that there are two other men who are on their radar for various crimes that they are also looking to take into custody in short order. We also want one called Omar Largi, otherwise called Not Nice. He is also wanted for murder. And the third person that we are interested in is Lyco Maxwell, otherwise called Junior, who is also wanted for murder, he revealed. Further to that, he said that there is a person of interest that they really want to have a conversation with. We have one main person of interest that we are seeking right now. His name is Kenil Knight, otherwise called Kush. We believe he can assist us greatly with the several murders and the shootings that have occurred within the township and the environs of the Montego Bay area. We are also asking him to turn himself in, Samuels continued. Samuels is urging the men to turn themselves in. We want those persons to turn themselves in at the nearest possible police station. They can either come in with their attorney or with a justice of the peace or any good citizen who they believe they can trust and bring them in, he advised. We are not relenting in our pursuit to capture these wanted persons and also to bring these persons of interest in so that we can have a conversation with them, he added. Man charged after allegedly firing gun during argument. A man who allegedly shot at another during an argument has been slapped with several charges stemming from the incident along Bastard Cedar Walk District, Petersfield in Westmoreland last week. Charged with shooting with intent, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, and the possession of a prohibited weapon is the 30-year-old Jason Chambers of Fort Williams District in the parish and Toronto, Canada. It is alleged that about 3 a.m., Chambers and a man were arguing when Chambers pulled out a firearm from his waistband and fired one shot at him. The man reportedly ran off and escaped. A report was made to the police and a targeted raid was conducted, during which Chambers was apprehended. Chambers was subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. Woman among three charged with breaches of the Firearms Act. 2 men and a woman have been charged following the seizure of a firearm and several rounds of ammunition during an operation in Tranquility Valley, Brownstown, St. Anne on May 25. They are 35-year-old Richard Russell, a maintenance worker of Aberdeen District in St. Anne, 33-year-old Daniel Cover, otherwise called Dang, and the 28-year-old Anne-Marie Brown, otherwise called Delisha, of Lower Buxton, Brownstown, also in the parish. They have been charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. The Brownstown police say about 11:30 p.m., during the search of a premises in Tranquility Valley, a Glock 19 pistol with a magazine containing 9 rounds of ammunition was found inside a backpack on a bed. A multicolored sock containing an additional 13 rounds were also found within the backpack. Russell, Brown, and Cover were taken into custody and charged on Tuesday following caution statements and an interview. Manchester man held with cocaine at the Sangster Airport gets a $1.2 million bail. The Manchester man who was arrested for allegedly trying to smuggle $18.7 million worth of cocaine through the Sangster International Airport was offered $1.2 million bail in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday. Thomas Edwards, 52, who is of a Hatfield address, is charged with the possession of, dealing in, attempting to export and a conspiracy to export 8 3/4 pounds of cocaine. He pleaded not guilty. During Edwards' bail hearing, his attorney Martin Thomas told the presiding judge Keisha Grant Price that his client had no knowledge of the contraband being in his suitcase at the time of his arrest. Thomas also noted that Edwards had no criminal record and that he had been cooperating with the authorities since he was detained on May 22. The court was also told that several documents are currently outstanding from the prosecution's file, including a forensic certificate, a scene of crime statement, and a CD, and a justice of the peace statement. In granting bail, Grant Price ordered the accused to report to the police 3 times a week and to surrender his travel documents. She also ordered that he should submit his fingerprints to the police. The case will be mentioned again on June 26. Allegations are that on May 22 at 5:10 p.m., Edwards was preparing to board a flight to Heathrow in England at the Sangster International Airport when a security check of his suitcase revealed a false compartment where 3 packages wrapped in black plastic were found. The packages were examined and allegedly found to contain a substance resembling cocaine. Under caution, Edwards reportedly said concerning the suitcase, "I borrow me barrette, you know, one of my drinking friends named Marcos." He was subsequently arrested and charged. Verantech teachers staged sit-in after colleague charged over brawl. Classes at the Vera Technical High School in Clarendon were suspended Wednesday after teachers staged a sit-in to protest against the decision of the police to lay charges against a female teacher who was earlier attacked on the compound by relatives of a student. Principal of the school, O'Neill Lewin, told the news that the teacher was taken into custody and charged after she was injured by the child's mother.
Okay, yesterday afternoon at approximately 3 o'clock, there was an incident where a parent actually confronted one of our teachers in the staff room, and that was a physical confrontation where the teacher received actually crepes and bites and all those. So it was actually referred to the police, and the police have charged both parties for a court date on June 21. This morning, the teachers had a meeting and they have decided that they will actually be sitting in. They will not be having any physical classes until this matter is actually dealt with by both the ministry and the board of management. The confrontation started because the parent was trying to retrieve an item belonging to the student from the staff room. The parent was directed by another member of staff to wait at the staff room for the item, and the parent decided to physically go inside the staff room and collect it. And the teacher tried to prevent that, and it resulted in that physical confrontation.
Keith Clark widow challenged by defense attorney. As the trial of the Jamaica Defense Force soldiers continued Wednesday, defense attorney Peter Champagne KC accused the prosecution's main witness, Dr. Claudette Clark, of being untruthful about the manner in which her husband Keith Clark was shot. Mr. Champagne is representing Corporal Odell Buckley. In a series of suggestions to Dr. Clark, Mr. Champagne told her that when she told the jury that her husband was shot when he was coming down the closet, and that his back was turned towards the soldiers, it was a lie. Dr. Clark disagreed, telling the attorney that the scientific evidence will give him the answer. Pressing further, Mr. Champagne suggested that Dr. Clark was inside her bathroom with her daughter when her husband was shot. Rejecting the suggestion, the emotional widow said, "No, sir, you can continue with your suggestion, but a suggestion is not a fact, sir." The educator also rejected suggestions that on May 27, 2010, she knew that gunmen were in her basement. Dr. Clark insisted, "No, sir, there was no gunman in my house. Never. There are no gunmen in my house. I don't agree with that suggestion, sir. There was no other person in my house but me and my family members." Wrapping up his cross-examination, Mr. Champagne suggested that Dr. Clark knew that her husband was firing his gun on the outside. Lance Corporals Greg Tinglin, Odell Buckley, and Private Arnold Henry are on trial for the 2010 murder of the businessman. Mr. Clark was killed at his Kirkland Heights home in St. Andrew during a police military operation to apprehend the drug lord Christopher Dudus Coke. Health official says measures needed to mitigate heat stress. Director in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Janice Miller, says good public health measures are needed to mitigate the heat stress caused by increasing temperatures globally. Her comment comes as the World Meteorological Organization warned that 2024 is likely to be even hotter than last year, which saw global temperatures smashing heat records. Last year's average temperature reached 1.45 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Dr. Miller says there are several challenges that have undermined the success of mitigation measures.
Challenges include how aware we are, or lack thereof, of the challenges and things that we need to do to prevent and mitigate against heat illness. Is there local research? It's a little insufficient. We do have a large population of workers in the informal sector who have to work in extreme temperatures. We do lack some standards in terms of what the heat health and heat policies are, and we need to know what are the general guidance for first aid. We need to look at ways to protect against heat stress. Is there a heat policy for your organization? Do you have an individual policy?
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.